Guys, welcome to another edition of Market Marauders, beating the market one trade at a time. First things first, hit that subscribe button down below, like, comment, share. So let's dive into it. Today I'll be giving you my top 3 option picks for the week. So let's start with number 1. Number 1 is going to be Cisco Systems, ticker sign CSCO. So on Friday, they ended at $47.97. Their moving average 50 is 46.77, and their moving average 200 is 49.75. So they're above their moving average 50, but not above their moving average 200. So let's go and dive into another chart and see how they're performing in the long term. So this is their 6-month chart. So based on their 6 months growth, they've been, kind of low. They dropped off around November. I think this was after their earnings, and they went down. They've kind of come back up to almost to the point where they were at before their earnings. So let's go into some of the Cisco news. So this came out January, no, January 30th. So it says February 13th they're gonna have a conference, Goldman Sachs Technology and Internet Conference 2020 on February 13th at 10:10 a.m. So that'll be something to look forward to see, how they're moving forward. They have their earnings next week on the 12th, so look out for that. It's gonna be a pretty important earnings because their last earnings, I don't think was too good, and so look out for the earnings. And jumping into one more article, this article came out the 6th. Cisco joins Facebook's Express Wi-Fi technology partner program to connect more people to faster internet. So Cisco announced today that it has joined Facebook's Express Wi-Fi technology partner program to close the digital divide and enable more people around the world to get connected to faster and better internet. So this initiative and this partnership is pretty good to see. Two big companies come together. To find a solution for people's problems, faster internet. I think it's a pretty good thing. And based on just this and the fact that their earnings is coming out next week, let's dive into Robinhood portfolio and see what the prices for the calls and puts are going. In my opinion, I would put a call out on for Cisco, just because they have a lot of things going moving forward, and their last earnings wasn't as good as people thought it would be. So the fact that this earnings can kind of make make them uh, come back to the light, essentially. Um, I think that any improvement will be conceived as a good improvement. So that's why I say put a call out for Cisco, because I think their earnings is going to be a lot better than it was last time. So we see the calls; they range from like 133 to 70. And for you guys who don't have Robinhood, I have a link down below where you can sign up. Um, you'll get a free stock. I'll get a free stock. So Robinhood, you can trade options. You just have to go into the settings and just sign up for trading options, and it's just basically that simple. I do all my trading for options on Robinhood, and it's pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory once you get into it. So for you guys who don't know about options, this price is basically the price that you'll pay for your options contract. For one options contract, you are agreeing to purchase 100 shares for this price. So this price, you'll take 133 and you multiply it times 100, and this is essentially the price per share that you'll be paying. So you do 100 times 109, and then you'll get 109. So if you'll see a price like 43 cents, you multiply times 100, you'll get $4.30. So that's how, I mean, you get $43. Um, so essentially, these are $55, $43, $33, $88, $109, and $133. That's the price you'll pay for these options currently. Now, with options, the price fluctuates, and it's all dependent on the current share price. These prices are most likely not where you're going to pay when the market opens, because this price is not going to be stagnant. As this price changes, these prices change. So just bear that in mind. These are not stagnant prices. So, when you go and you start trading options, you'll see the price fluctuate quite a bit. So the strike price and break even price, these are basically prices that you think the stock's going to go. So if you have a call, the strike price, like the call, basically means that you think the stock's going to go up, and this is the price you think it's going to go above. If you have a put, you basically believe that the stock's going to go down, and then it'll have uh, a value to match that going down. So $48 a strike price. This is currently at 47.97, so it hasn't reached that. So this option would be considered um, out of the money. So out of the money option is basically an option that hasn't gotten to that strike price yet. Now, if you go down below this line, this is called an in the money option. In the money option basically means that it has gotten to that strike price, and that's what you always want. You want yours to be in the money. Now, when you're in the money, the stock price, I mean the strike price, not strike price, the price always increases. So if you look at the out of the money options, they're a lot cheaper, from like $33 to $43 to $55. But if you go to any in the money options, the lower the strike price is, which means the further away from the price that it's been in the positive, then the higher that it's going to be. So strike price is 45.50, and it's at 47.97. So essentially, it's like $2 above the strike price. I mean the share price. So that's why this costs more than one that's $50. So $50 essentially like above $3 above where the price is at. So that's why this is a lot cheaper than this is, because it's a call. And a call is you're saying that the price is going to go up to a certain price. So they've already made their strike price at 45.50, and they have yet to make their strike price of $50 on this call. So that's just a little synopsis or for how calls and puts work on options on Robinhood. So I would say to put out a call, in my opinion, for Cisco, because I believe that it's going to continue to go up. It's at 47.97, and they really have a lot to prove with this earnings call coming up next week, and I think that it'll be a lot better than the last earnings that they had. So going to my number two. So for my number two stock, I have Shopify. So ticker sign SHOP. If we go on here and we look at their moving average 50, it's 415.17. Their moving average 200 is 340.57. And they're currently at $478.69. So they're way above both of these metrics, and I think they're going to continue to grow, just based on the business that they've had, and because their breakout has been so long. I think it's going to continue to grow, and they have a pretty good business model as well. So going into another chart, we can see if we look at their 3 months and their 6 months. So it had a little lull down, like from 402 down to about 285. But since around November 7th, which is what this says, it has been on an uptrend all the way to 478. And I think that trend is going to continue to grow. because a lot more people are using Robinhood, and using Shopify, and more businesses are opening up, and more people are trying to become entrepreneurs. So I think Shopify will continue to grow its revenue based on that. Now they do have their earnings coming up on February 12th. So their earnings is going to be the same day as Cisco's earnings for next week. So look forward to those, and I think they'll continue to grow and rally even more to that earnings. So if we go to one of the articles on here, Shopify, it says Shopify announces plans to hire 1,000 employees in Vancouver. Uh, so for over 6 years, we've begun growing our presence in the province, supporting hundreds of employees who work remotely in the region. Today, we're taking our commitment to the next level, sharing that we are making a significant investment in Vancouver with plans to hire 1,000 employees and open our first permanent office. So that's always good, showing that they're going to be hiring 1,000 employees. It just shows that the company is continuing to grow. This came out the 28th of January, so it kind of wasn't that too long ago when they released this. But I think it's going to continue to grow and just show more revenue in this earnings coming up on the 12th. So if we go into Shopify options, again on Robinhood, I would definitely put a call out on Robinhood. On Robinhood for Shopify. Now these are a little pricey. They're way more pricey than Cisco, but if it's in your budget, I will put a call out for it. I'll probably try to go a little further out. They're still a little pricey, but in my opinion, that's you know you have your own budget. Don't try to just spend everything that you have. Try to make a logical decision when making an option, because options can fluctuate quite a bit. So, there's always a good time and a bad time to get into an option. And, you can make a lot of money real quick, or you can lose a lot of money real quick when it comes to options. It's not the same as stocks. Yeah, you can lose a lot of money, penny stocks and things of that nature, but to me personally, doing options trading, you can lose the most amount of money the quickest, or you can gain the most amount of money the quickest. So just bear that in mind if you're going to invest into an option. Uh, just make sure you know what you're doing and you've done your research. Go read articles online, read old earnings. The more research you can do, the better. Um, Due diligence, is like the most valuable part of trading stocks and options, because it puts you ahead of other people. Because a lot of people, they don't really look at the articles, they don't read how it goes. They just say, "Oh, this chart, is going up, so I'm gonna buy." And a lot of times that's not the case. Sometimes it is the case. Sometimes it does continue to go up, but for me, I feel like reading articles and seeing how the company is actually ran, and understanding the business model, understanding what products they make, understanding their growth, you know, movements and upper management, all those things help when making a decision to buy an option or to buy the stock itself. So these may be a little pricey for some people. That's why I have Cisco on here, because these are a little bit more affordable. But if this is in your price range, um, I would definitely say, Shopify is definitely one to look at. Um, and it shows basically on the charts that they're steady, continuing to grow. And also in the article that I showed, it also shows that they're continuing to grow. Places don't open up, don't hire, thousands of employees at one time unless their business is growing. So, it's always a positive thing to see that. And I think they'll continue to grow. Long term and short term as well. I think they'll rally around the earnings next week, just like I think Cisco will probably rally around its earnings next week. But for more of a secure, I think Shopify would be more secure call than Cisco would be. So jumping into my number three options pick for the week, I'm going to say it's ticker sign NVDA, which is Nvidia Corporation. So Nvidia has been on quite a large breakout since for a while, since about September, August really, and it's just continued to grow, dramatically. It's currently at 251.59, which is Friday's price, and its moving average 50 is 235.09. Its moving average 200 is 188.35. So it is um, above both of those metrics, and I think it's going to continue to grow. Uh, so let's dive into another chart analysis of it. So their earnings is in 4 days. So their earnings is on the 13th, I think, of February. So if we look at their 6 month chart, it is just pure growth. 6 months ago they were at 147.50, and now they're at 251.96. So I mean, over $100 worth of growth in 6 months, which is a fantastic metric for any company, and considering what they make, it's a pretty good um, sign that they know what they're doing. So jumping into one of the articles, this is one of the press releases. It says GeForce Now open for all. So I'm gonna read a little bit of this. It says today we are making GeForce Now, a PC and PC gaming accessible to more gamers. More than 1.2 billion players have made the PC world's largest game platform, yet only a fraction have a modern PC with power to play their favorite games. GeForce Now lets you use cloud to join in. It is the power to play PC anywhere and any device, even the billion devices that aren't game ready. You're upgrading to state-of-the-art gaming rig by virtually adding a GeForce graphics card to your PC, Mac, Shield, or Android phone. So basically, they're saying they're trying to get more people into playing games with this new with GeForce Now and the GeForce graphics cards. So I know I have a GeForce GTX. I think it's 1080 Ti in my computer, and it runs perfectly fine. I've had no problems with it. Um, I like Nvidia's products. I think they definitely know what they're doing, and most of the people that I know who have graphics cards go with GTX graphics cards over like AMD stuff. So you know I think Nvidia is a pretty solid company, and it shows based on their metrics. And the 13th of February, they're going to have their earnings, and we're going to, as investors, be able to see how good the company has been doing in this past uh, since their last earnings. So if we go into Nvidia and their calls in Robinhood, these are also a lot more affordable than the ones in the past. So basically, Shopify's were the most expensive calls, but I would say that Nvidia and Cisco are more affordable calls, and I would go with those two. Um, those would basically be in my price range. But Shopify, maybe in some other people's price range, and they also have been doing good. So, Shopify is also a good option for a call. But if we look in Robinhood, these are the prices for the calls. This is for ending next week. So this will be a day after the earnings, which is cutting a little close. So I would go to calls for like February 21st or even February 28th. Give it a little more time. Now, if you look, when we jumped to February 28th, the prices jumped up. That's just because there's a lot more time for that price to reflect that. But these still aren't unreasonable amounts to pay for calls. And if we go to the 21st, they're a little bit cheaper. But between 21st and the 28th, that's kind of a good buffer of time. But if you go to the 14th, you know, you're paying almost the same amount of money, but you know, you're expecting it to go and to get to that number like the day after its earnings. So, cutting it really close on those is, something that I don't have the stomach to do, but I know a lot of people do that. They'll go and buy it for that week, buy at the beginning of the week, and they can make those calls that they'll go up. But I just haven't, mastered that yet. Um, so I try to give myself a buffer, especially if it's earnings, because earnings can go one of two ways and go really good or really bad. Usually before earnings, people rally around the earnings unless they know that the company's just going to do really bad. Then they'll sell off while it's still high. But most of the times, it rallies before the earnings, which means the stock price is just basically going to go up a little more than where it's at. And then if the earnings is good, then the stock will go up even more. And if the earnings is bad, then the stock will go down drastically. So betting on earnings is always a risky gamble when it comes to it, but it's one of those things that you're gonna have the volume available to get in and out of that trade very quickly. So the liquidity of it, having such a good volume is always a good thing, and if you can get in and get out, or if you can get in at a good price at a good time with a buffer for an expiration date, that's always a good thing as well. So there are deals to be had when it comes to options trading, just like there are deals in the stock market. You just got to recognize which ones are good and which ones are bad, because there are always deals being made in the stock market. So, those are my top three options picks for the week. Drop a comment down below. Tell me what you guys are looking at. Tell me what options you think are going to go good this week. There are also more earnings. I know there's an earning, I think on Monday for Aurora Cannabis, but you know, because that stock price is so low, it didn't make the list. So tell me what companies you guys are looking at down below in the comment section. Tell me if you think these are good or bad picks. Um, all the information helps. Take all criticism as constructive. Uh, and make sure you smash that subscribe button down below. Uh, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.